to the hottest show. It is the old school in R&B, your number one station in Dallas Fort Worth. It is after 9 o'clock, and we started a new segment called In the Spotlight, and he's actually the first artist to be on the program. Good evening on this beautiful Tuesday. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm better than I deserve. How's everyone out there today?
Man, you know what? We can't complain. I want you to introduce yourself. And if you're an independent artist out there, or if you're a business person, or whatever you got going, and you want to be spotlight on our new segment called In the Spotlight at 9, where we stop the show. We come on from 6 to 10, but we stop the show to interview different people, interesting people that's doing some big things. We got my boy J-Rod live with us. Good evening, man. Again, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is J-Rod. I am signed to IMG Recordings and Universal Records.
Okay.
I am an A&R and the host of the upcoming TV show, Camp Hip Hop.
Okay. Wow. So man, tell us a little bit about the music background for you, because you've been in this game for a long time. So I want you to talk to the listeners out there, talk to the people out there, and we got people from all over the world tuning in to us overseas. Shout out to people in Tarzan who's listening to us right now, and also people that's listening to us in Nigeria, man. Go ahead on and just tell us a little bit give us your background. How did you get started in music, and have you always wanted to be in music?
Well, it started when I was 8 years old, when my cousin Trick Daddy Dollars, Mr. Trick Daddy Young, he came out of prison in 1996, and I followed him everywhere he went. And it wasn't until I turned 15 when I started writing my own music, and my first album, Gangsta Ways 2004, came out back in May of 2004, and I sold 2,000 copies in the first week that it came out.
Wow.
And that was under G-Ville Records from Gunnersville, Alabama, with the Alabama Villains. And then later on, I went into being with the Dirty Boys when I turned 17.
Okay.
And then after that, the group broke up. We came out with that song, All We Want for Christmas Is to Get a Crump, and I got my Hater Block.
Wait a minute. That was your song?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God! Okay. Go ahead. I'm getting excited.
So after the group broke up, I got married, had kids, stopped rapping for a while, rededicated my life to Christ, and I said I will only do music for God. And next thing I know, here I am. I'm signed now back to IMG Recordings and Universal Records as a gospel. However, now I'm doing some crossover music to get into all the main. So I'm also in the new magazine editions of Hip Hop magazine.
Okay.
They're doing a whole story on me as well, plus your guys' magazine as well.
Right, man. So you actually doing some big things, and also, man, because we are a old school hip hop and R&B station, you work with a lot of the older guys, the old school. Kind of tell us a little bit about other people that you work with, because you're already connected with so many major people.
Yes, sir. I worked with Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
Bush Bill, God rest his soul, rest in peace, Bushwick. Mr. Rick Robinson, that's actually my manager from Bone Thugs and Harmony, Mr. Rick Robinson.
Okay, shout out to Rick Robinson.
So that's actually my manager. I worked with the Whitney Houston's old manager. That his name's Maurice Starr. He was my manager for many years before his heart attack. I worked with Nelly, Trick, of course, Trick Daddy.
Wait a minute. You know we got to talk about this real quick. How is it working with someone like Nelly and Trick Daddy? Because everybody knows Trick Daddy. How is it working with them two?
Oh, man, Nelly is one of my best friends. Big shout out to him. Everybody go vote. I got to say it. Go vote. Vote for my boy, okay? Vote for him. But yeah, it's amazing to be growing up and listening to them on the radio, and then now, be able to work with them and know them personally, not just business, but personally. So it's really fun. It's really great. Get ready for the Drake and Lil Wayne's new album a song that's about to drop with DJ Khaled. It's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna love it.
I gotta ask you this. I gotta ask you this, man, because Mother Diva just did a entertainment report on Kanye West and Drake getting into it. Have you heard that? And is he saying anything about the beef that's going on with Kanye West? Kanye West made a statement about Drake, and Boosie got upset and was talking about it on yesterday on TMZ and other places, saying that that Kanye West needs to stop doing all that mess and stop hating on Drake. So have you heard that Drake even mentioned anything about Kanye for that?
I have heard about the beef. I'm really good friends with Kanye West. Me and him did that song, Going Home.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and then, me and Snoop Dogg had that one song called Home Is Where It's Called off his Bible of Love CD back in 2017. And me and Drake are now becoming really close. So with what the beef is going on between both of them, they're both my friends, so I don't really have no comment on that.
Okay. So do you think, let me ask you this, do you think that the beef could be because they trying to sell records? Could that be? Because, sometimes when you got these major artists that's having beef, they're not really having beef. They're just really trying to get people to buy their album. Could this be what's going on?
It could be. It could be, where they need, want people to buy their albums a little bit more. But you got to understand, since Kanye West went into the gospel side, now he took a step back. He's actually in a different field than what Drake is in now. Like I am. I'm in a whole different field than what Drake and Lil Wayne and all them are in. I'm in more of the gospel side and crossover now, inspirational. You know what I'm saying? So what Kanye West is doing, he should take a step back a little bit and know where he is. But, I don't really get into what they are going through, when you look at, and that's crazy because you're right. People look at Christian hip hop totally different from the rest of the world. So to me, I'm looking at why would Kanye West, who's a gospel artist, will do something like that? He should just pray for him and leave it at that and say, you know what, we're going to pray for that brother that he get his life right. But why go after him and continue to mess with him unless he's trying to sell more records? That's what it sounds like to me, because everybody is talking about this. Yeah, it definitely could be that. It could be that they're trying to sell more records. But again, not everybody's perfect. Even living a Christian life, being a Christian, it means Christ-like. Even living a Christian life, nobody's perfect. We all fall short from the glory of God every day.
Right.
We all do get in our feelings from time to time, especially me. I'm definitely not perfect. My girl will tell you that I get in my feelings a lot.
Oh, well, so, we all do. For those who just not tuning in to us, we got my main man right here, man J-Rock, right here. For those who tune in to us on the podcast on iHeartRadio, and those who are tuning in to us right here on Hot 905 The Beat, we talking about this. We went from talking about him to talking about this beef that's going on between Kanye West and Drake, and a lot of people are asking, are they trying to sell albums? And J-Rock said he don't want to get in the middle of it because he's friends with both of them, and that's understandable. Of course, we here at iHeartRadio and Hot 905 can definitely say something about it, but I can understand that. So, man, I want to get to asking you this. Now that you're in the gospel world, the Christian world, is it different for you? Is it totally different for you as a artist now? What's different now versus when you was out there? Let's talk about that.
Well, what's different between now and then is because when you're in the world and you're actually living that lifestyle where you're selling drugs, shooting, killing, doing what you have to do, you always got to look over your shoulder. And no matter if you're out and about, even if it's cops or even, other people that's out to get you, you're always looking over your shoulder. You got to have security around you. You got to do everything. Now that I'm bringing positive messages and trying to bring in a form of Christ-like walk in my daily routine, it's less stressful to not have to look over my shoulders as much. I do still have my security team. They are still strapped up and stuff like that. But I don't have to worry about, people trying to get at me because I'm selling drugs or I'm banging or, I'm living this lifestyle. Because a lot of the rappers these days and times, not the old school, the new school, they talk about this stuff, but half of them don't even live this lifestyle. And when they get confronted or they get jumped or something, they go home and cry because they got their chain snatched from them, or they got hit in the head, or something like that. In the old school style, we go after the ones that come after us. So you go get shot before you get shot. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, it's different. It's totally different. And being in the gospel side, you get to bring the positive messages and let people know what you've been through to what you are today is totally different. Let
me ask you this also, J-Rock, because we know lately a lot of major rappers and a lot of up-and-coming rappers have been getting killed, gunned down all across the country, from Mo 3, who was just murdered, to Boosie, who was shot in the leg. What are your thoughts, and what do you think is going on with all of these rappers who are getting killed? What message is people trying to say? Cause we got a lot of artists that tune in to us.
So with I'm going to talk about people that I know personally, like Lil Uzi, Pop Smoke, and Nicky Hustle. And Triple X. If you guys remember XXX down in Miami, who got shot and killed inside his car because he got robbed. See, what happens is a lot of these artists out here, they're always trying to flaunt. They're trying to flaunt what kind of cars they got, money, drugs, whatever, and they're always got carried like heavy cash on them. Me personally, I don't carry no cash on me, and I keep like 3 or 4 bank accounts, and I move money around slowly here and there, and I don't really show what I got. You know what I'm saying? But other rappers, they don't care. They want to show. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is a lot of these other people are jealous and they want what they got. So they go and they try to rob them, shoot them, whatever happens.
But let me ask you this: how are they doing that, knowing that they got their security? Are they waiting till their security is no longer there? That's when they come up there and start doing crazy stuff? Are they watching these guys when they don't have their security around?
Well, I'm going to tell you what Snoop Dogg was when I sat down with Snoop Dogg, and he told me what happened with Tupac and Biggie when Tupac showed up at Biggie's studio to do the song with him. There was 2 guys waiting, and they were pretending that they were security inside the building. One was outside, one was inside. When they got to the elevator door to get ready to go in the elevator to the studio, what happened was they pulled out their guns, tried to rob Tupac. But because Tupac tried to reach for his gun, they shot and killed one of his security, and they shot Tupac. And they stole his stuff, and they walked out. Tupac, at that time, still went upstairs to Biggie, finished the song with Biggie, but then that's when the whole Tupac and Biggie collide, had that fight, the beef that happened, because they think that it was a setup because of Biggie set them up. So that's where it all came into play. These rappers these days everybody's touchable, no matter if they got security or not, because we have to promote where we're going to be, how we're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell them what hotels are standing out or anything like that for our safety, but you're going to know where we're going to be at way before we even get there. Because they promote us ahead of time. Oh, J-Rock's going to be in Ohio on this day at this time. Get your tickets now. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to get their tickets, and guess what? You can't be touched, no matter how much security you have around you. That's why you got to be very careful as being an artist. You got to know, like I tell my artist, one of my artists is his name Sony. I tell him, you can't jump off the stage and run through the crowd because it's your safety. Your safety, you have to know how to get off the stage quickly if something goes down, where your security at all times, and where the camera is at on you, because the crowd is looking at you. They don't want to look around the crowd to try to find you. So that's things that, artists have to go through to understand, your safety is very, very, very important, especially right now with the COVID-19 and all that stuff. You don't want to be around too many people, but still, your safety is #1 priority. And that's what my security team does, even me being a gospel artist. Even though I do duck off a lot without my security team to go one-on-one, especially if I'm on a date with my girl or going out with my girl, whatever. But still, you know, I tried my hardest to keep my security team on deck and let them know where I'm at, what I'm doing through text messages. I
gotta ask you this, J-Rod. I mean, because you out there, you are definitely out there with that lifestyle. I gotta ask you this: how does it feel having the paparazzi around you? Do you see them everywhere, and do they come up to you and take pictures of you? What's going on through your head when you see that type? Because I know you live that type, and you probably used to that because you see that all the time. Let's talk about that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm still not used to it. I mean, it's still, you know, I feel like it's me. I'm just me. You know, I just want to be me. You know,
right.
And when people come up to me to take pictures and autographs, I love it at the same time, but then it throws me off guard. Like one time I was at a Wawa's gas station just to get gas, and one guy recognized who I was and told another person, and then 50 people started coming over to take pictures and autographs.
I know how you feel.
Yeah.
J-Rod, I know how you feel, because with me being a big community activist and being on the news a lot and being in the Wikipedia, man, I get that a lot. And sometimes when I go to the grocery store, I'm trying to shop. Come on, J-Rod. I'm trying to shop at the grocery store, peace and quiet. And I don't even know who these people is. They coming up to me. Oh, can I get a picture with you? I seen you on the news. I'm like, oh, man, can I get me some groceries? I mean, it's crazy. So I know exactly how you feel, and I get that a lot, man.
Yeah, when they came up, tried to take pictures of me, they all ran up to me. So there was like, everybody was out there with their souped up cars and stuff, and then there's 3 police officers, and they came up because they thought I was getting jumped or whatever, and they were asking me, who am I? And I told them who I was, and one officer looked me up, and she goes, yep, that's him. And they had to off the property to make sure I was safe when I left. It was crazy. And it just happened. I just dropped my girl off at home when this happened. It was, I thank God for because
how does she feel? I mean, how does she feel being around you, knowing that you are this big time celebrity, and then all of a sudden people coming up to you? Does she get frustrated sometimes?
No, she doesn't. She's more she's cool with it because she knows me personally.
Okay.
So to her, she's been around celebrities before. So
okay.
She really, you know, it's just, it doesn't faze her.
Do you ever get caught? Do TMZ ever call you, or do they ever see you somewhere and they videotaping you, they recording you or something? And do you ever get that?
I have not had that experience yet, but however, I was on their webpage where they did a whole thing, said a new upcoming artist, Christian artist from Orlando, Florida, goes by the name of J-Rob, and they said about my CD and everything on their webpage.
Wow.
One of my people called me and said, J-Rob, you got to check out this webpage. I went on the webpage, took a screenshot of it, and you can actually see it on my Instagram. You can see it on my Facebook.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know, at the real J-Rob Instagram. And you can actually see everything on there. You'll see me and Pastor Troy and the Wu-Tang and all of us on there as well.
Wow. So you do too. And speaking of Pastor Troy, you did some projects with him too, did you?
Yes, sir. Pastor Troy and
tell us about that.
Oh man, they're really good people. Me and Jay Long from Pretty Ricky, we just did a song called Gossip. Me and Pastor Troy, we've been known each other for about 17 years now.
Okay.
We had a little rocky start, but now we're really good friends now. So.
Wow. Is he a real pastor, or is that just what they call him?
No, that's just what they call him.
Okay, so he's still out there doing that regular hip hop and stuff and promoting.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yep. That's what I was wondering, because I used to wonder about that. Was he a pastor? Man, they call him Pastor Troy. Is he a pastor, or is he just going by that name? And so you clear the record. So real quick before we let you go, man, for those who are tuning in to us, I want to talk about, not only talk about that, but let's talk about your before we talk about your up and coming project, I want you to give some advice to the independent artists. We got people listening to us right now overseas, tuning in to us in other places, man. Tarzan in Africa, and they love American hip hop. I want you to, and also all the other independent artists, man. What do you want to say to the artists out there, the up and coming artists that's trying to come out? What advice would you give to them?
I would say always believe in yourself. Don't let nobody say that you can't, you won't, and you'll never succeed. Because you can, you will, and as long as you put God first, anything is possible. Also, always make sure before you let anybody hear any type of songs that you do that you are registered through BMI or ASCAP, and you go to copyright.gov and make sure all your songs are copywritten before you let anybody hear it. Because these days and times, people do take your music. And
they so do.
And they'll use your music, and if you don't have no proof of it, then hey, it's their music. But
wow, that's real talk.
Yeah, you can do a poor man copyright where you put on a CD or a thumb drive, mail it back to yourself in an envelope.
I was going to ask. Wait a minute. I was going to ask you about that. Does that still work? I'm glad you're bringing that up, because some people say that the poor man copyright don't work no more. Are you saying that still work for the artist that's listening to you?
It still works because it's stamped from the date that you mailed it, but
okay.
It's only a notarized paper, meaning it's only good for 1 year. So if you don't open it, you don't touch it, it's a notarized paper. It's only good for 1 year. Every year you'll have to keep mailing it back to yourself. But however, make sure that if you do anything, you could put 15 songs on copyrights.com or .org. You can copyright all of it for $45.
That's cheap. That's real cheap.
Yeah. So if you do one song at a time, it's going to be $45 every time. So I would say go ahead, stock up your inventory of all your songs, whatever your catalog, and then submit as much as you can at one time. So everything gets copyrighted and you're safe, your paperwork is good, and then if any record label comes to you at any given time, that you will have all your documents in a row. That's what they look for, and always stay humble. Don't try to be like, oh, I'm the best rapper there is. You got to hear my
song. And I feel a lot doing that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some real. You know what, man? That's some good, real information, man. I'm glad you brought that up to us. For those who tuning in to us, it's Wednesday night. Shout out to my boy right here. Say, before we let you go, I want you to tell us about your up and coming project. Who are you getting prepared to work with? Is there another major artist and also, who have you not worked with that you want to work with? Is there anybody?
Oh. All right, so I got a few. Okay. So with my upcoming my single "God's Got Me" that you guys are already playing on the radio. Thank you. Shout out to you guys for spinning that for me. I have a new record that's dropping called "My Past." My Past Life, which I worked with Kelly Carson. Big shout out to Kelly Carson.
We just did a report on her tonight. She's getting a divorce.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're going through some things right now. So I've been praying with them. But big shout out to her. She's good friends with my friend who is her husband, or about to be her. But she came in and did "My Past Life" and a song called "Timing," which is a song between me and my girl. It's going to be about us. But I just got done doing a song with Neo and
oh my God,
called "The East Side." And a big shout out to them. The two that I really, really want to work with, that I'm going to be working with pretty soon, is big shout out to Rick the Ruler. He actually lives out there in Texas. We're going to be doing a song. 6'2", we're actually working on doing a song right now, and DOC. Big shout out to DOC. So. Wait a
minute. Out of all the people, did you say 6'2"? Out of all the people, why 6'2"?
6'2". He actually is good friends with Rick the Ruler. And Rick the Ruler actually linked us up, and 6'2" sent me all his songs. And he is he really wild? I mean, is 6'2" really wild, like people say he is? everybody says he is, and there's a lot of people like Justin Timberlake, and Justin Timberlake warned me about him. He
wow.
A couple other people, but everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves to be heard. Especially in this music industry, you don't ever want to put somebody down from their dreams. If you got a dream, go for it. It's not the stuff that you gather in life, but it's the stuff you gather that shows the life that you live.
Wow, so, that is amazing. Let me ask you this, man, because you see a lot of these artists from, different artists like yourself, but of course, you keep it real. That's what I like about you, man. But other artists like what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. Him, Kanye West, and other artists who 1 minute they're in the gospel, then the next they leaving. What do you say to those artists?
Well, those artists, there's a spiritual warfare that's going on with different energies and different entities. It's between the universe and God, and how everything lines up. And some people are fighting it, some people are trying to grasp it, and some people don't understand what is going on with their energy, because there's different energies and different the ways of music is. And the way that their energy is coming out, some of them is trying to find God, and some of them are just trying to get attention. But there's some that they're torn what they want to do, and they don't know how the fans are going to react to them going this way or that way. So they will try to go this way and try to be Christ-like and try to do Christian music just to see how the fans are, and to get the other fans to be fans. So, it's all about getting new fans, and, there's over billions and billions of people in this world. That, that's why me, personally, going into the gospel side, I'm actually doing a lot of crossover music right now to get me on the main. So all the ones that are gangsters and street people and all this stuff that is out in the street, they will start listening to my music too as well. So I'm trying to link them both together and collide them both together. However, I still keep it 100 who I am, what I believe, and what my heart is. But at the same time, you gotta go forth and bring a message, regardless if it's in the streets or in the church. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of hypocrites in the church. So that's why we all to be the church and not go to a building of churches, of a church, because there's a lot of hypocrites in that church.
Yes, it is.
To point fingers at you, quick to say, "Oh, you're a gospel rapper, but you're hanging out with gangsters."
Right? Yeah, you so right about that. So you see that a lot.
My boy Lecrae, my boy Lecrae and NF, and and Emilio, we go through that on an everyday basis.
Wow.
There's people saying that we smoke weed, we drink, we cheat, stuff like that. Lecrae, he's been happily married. I think it's like 15, 16 years now, if not a little bit more. And Emilio, he's married. He's been married for a while. Not everybody in the music industry cheats. Not everybody in the music industry smokes weed. Not everybody in the industry of music is a drinker. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this: Have you had a chance to work with someone like Kirk Franklin, which is Kirk is out of our it's really out of Fort Worth, Texas. Have you had an opportunity to work with someone like them? And if not, are you interested in working with someone like him?
I am very interested in working with Kirk Franklin. Actually, he is going to be on God's Got Me remix.
Okay.
He is supposed to be, Mr. Rick Robinson has already been setting that up with RCA and all of them over there right now. He is supposed to be on this next one. Bushwick Bill from the Ghetto Boys, who passed away early this year. He was actually supposed to be on God's Got Me remix as well. So, but yeah.
That's right. Because he did give his life to Christ and was getting ready to start doing gospel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then and then Mary. Big shout out to Mary. I really want to work with them. I really, really wanted to. I know they broke up and stuff like that, but I really want them to come out and do a song with me. I talked to them personally a couple of times. So I'm praying for them.
And J-Rock, you were saying, and before we let you go, you were saying that you wanted to work with Bushwick before he passed away. I had an opportunity. It was an honor when I had a music video show. I had an honor to actually do a big interview with Bushwick Bill at his hotel in when he was with Rap A Lot Records, man. And he is one of the, oh my God, if I say he's one of the downest earth person. One thing he left with me on my TV show, and I never forget this. He told me, he said who he was really concerned about is our young people. I'll never forget that. He said he loved the young people, and he told me, he said, Mr. Ballard, it's one thing I want to leave with you if you never talk to me again. I said, what's that? He said, tell the young people to stay in school. He was real big about the young generation, and that was 20 years ago, staying in school. And I still remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah, and you know, me and him, we collided a whole bunch of times. Me and him were really good friends. Matter of fact, he was supposed to be my co-host to the upcoming TV show Camp Hip Hop on BET, and that's why it got pushed back because of his passing. Now we're trying. Busy Bone. It looks like Busy Bone is going to be jumping in on board.
Okay.
There's a lot of other. Big shout out to Deb. Waka Flocka's mom, for, you know, everything.
Oh, she's sweet, man. I never met her, but I could tell by looking at her, she is really down to earth. Have you had a chance to even talk to, what about Escape? Have you talked to them?
Who?
Have you talked to that group, Escape? Have you talked to them about? Yeah, that group.
I have not talked to Escape personally, to be honest with you. I have talked to, like, The Weeknd. You know, I was supposed to be on tour with him this year. However, I ended up going on tour with J Long and Pastor Troy this whole, like, September. It was September, October, November. I was on tour. So, yeah, it's been a crazy year. My new tour, God's Got Me tour, is coming up. Again,
man.
So, you know, it's a lot of stuff that's about to happen, about to jump off. So yeah, it's you know, plus, you know, I'm shooting my music video this Saturday.
Okay. Wow. Well, you make sure you give it to us so we can put it on Channel 49 TV network.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely will. You know my publicist, so I'll make sure to Sean. She will definitely send that out to you.
Okay. Well. Already, man. I tell you what, thank you for, tuning in. I mean, I said tune in. Thank you, man, for calling in to the show, talking to us here on this beautiful Wednesday night, man. And again, you got anything else you want to say? You got any shout outs? Who you want to shout out to real quick?
I want to give a shout out to all the upcoming artists, man. Keep doing your thing. Stay positive, stay uplifted, and stay encouraged. You guys can do what you put your mind to. I'm going to say, as a famous artist, not just myself, but another artist who told me his exact words. And this is going from Eminem. If you have one shot and one opportunity,
I love that song.
In one moment, would you capture it, or would you just let it slip away? So always stay positive, keep your head up, stay uplifted, stay encouraged, and understand you can do anything that you put your mind to. And big shout out to the president of my label, Mr. Rick Robinson, the VP, Will Jr., my publicist, Sean, and special shout out to my girl, Gabby.
All right, man. That's what's up, man. I tell you what, don't go nowhere, man. We're going to talk to you off the air. All right, y'all. It's going down. It's beautiful Wednesday night. Shout out to everybody out there tuning in to us. And again, we want to thank J-Rob from University Records for coming on the show, talking to us, and telling us about everything that he got going on. And also talking about his past and setting the record straight. We'll be right back. You're tuning into the hottest station in the nation right here on Hot 905 and iHeartRadio.
Yes, sir.